Okay, here is the points we were playing on Wednesday, and I pulled out some points that I like, and I wanted to show them to you. And let's get right into this. You're going to see a nice middle return. It's kind of a forced mistake, and I love these points. They're boring, subtle, but just a solid return. You'll see it coming up right here. Solid return, and you'll see solid return. Jen's coming forward, Sandy's coming forward, and this is just one of the big things in doubles, in my opinion. Just creating this is the power position. You got Jen coming forward behind the service line. You got Sandy moving forward, and there's generally kind of a feeling of nowhere to go by the person hitting this ball, and that's where you get a lot of mistakes. That's the kind of doubles I love. Set it up. Great setup. So in this one, you'll see Jen has a nice return, and here things are looking good. And Sandy sees it, she knows it's hers, and she comes forward and doesn't probably do quite enough with it. And now all of a sudden that's right back on Ann's racket, and she is in a perfect position to take control of the point, and she sets it up, and you can see right down the middle. So again, something I keep focusing on is that we're not going for winners. We're trying to put our opponents in awkward situations. So a nice control drive down the middle, and that you can see Jen's having to pull it out of her toenails, and that sets me up, and kaboom. We got to serve down the middle. Get a kind of it's the key is the subtleties here. Nice serve down the middle, and look at that step, right before Ann hits it. Again, and this is the stuff that I love. It may not you may not even remember these points, but to me these are the ones that I really remember. That slide step over right before Ann hits it causes a mistake. This is kind of an example of serve went out wide to her backhand. Ann had decided to go down the middle, and because obviously Sandy's in the neighborhood, you have to hit it. If she would have just tapped it down the middle, Sandy would have probably killed it. She gets something on it, and you got to also see here is that there's also, I believe Sandy's got to be worrying a little bit about her alley too. So there's a lot for her to cover. That's good. Again, kind of a subtle point. Here we go. Great patience on this point. So here we go. I go up. Good ball. Didn't do too much with it. Down the middle. I can't hurt you. I just lob it again. Again, down the middle. Staying in the point. These are pretty good lobs. Nothing great, but staying in the point. And now the aggression comes. Boy, I love that point. This is funny. In my notes, I have written lost patience. So I think this is the anti-previous point. Good. All right. So everything's kind of good. This is where it gets a little dicey, I think. So it's a lob. Not still in the point. Obvious lob. Now this, I think, is where it gets a little interesting. I do believe Jen was able to step into it, but really, where did is this the one? Sorry, it's one more after this. I think it's this one. And there we go. Now she is kind of stepping into it, but she is, I can't exactly tell, but she's definitely a foot, if not a couple feet behind the baseline. And now she's trying to drive my angle. I'm right in front of her, so maybe she thinks there's more court open than there really is. But I would definitely consider this one part lost patience and one part very forced. It's a great cross. That's what you're supposed to do. That's always an option. Cross and go at her. Great return. Great return. Open up, so I throw in a nothing serve, and that really forces my partner to stay home. Opens up the middle. Jen pops over. Boom. Again, great serve. Sorry, great return. Great finish. So again, these are the points that I love, and what I love most about this point, especially for Jen and Sandy, is that I would argue that on my serve they had the advantage. It was I think it's a fantastic return. Bam! And Jen crosses over. Probably wish she would have gone. So Jen definitely had to look down the middle, or even to take it into Ann's alley. She took it back to me. So here we go. So now. I think I chip it over Jen's head. And so by all accounts, advantage lost to Jen and Sandy. No one panics. Sandy races back, throws up a good ball down my alley kind of deep, and then here we go. Let's start the whole thing back over again. There you go. And this is just why you want to serve and volley. Great serve down the middle. I have no angles, nowhere to go. I go right to Sandy, and she just pops it right at Ann, who has no time to react. Good job. So I would definitely categorize this as high risk, high reward by Jen. So the serve goes out wide, and she keeps a very kind of a central court position. A lot of alleys being left open, but a lot of people on their backhand do not want to go down the line. So she kind of jumps right in the middle. I mean, she left a lot of court open, so it's obviously high risk, high return, but it pays off. Here you'll see different story. So, well, let me play it out. And you'll have a different scenario against the same person on different wings. Oops, sorry. Oh, sorry, I got lost here. Okay, so you'll see serve to the backhand, kind of not much of a return, and now this aggressive court position. One could argue, yes, Jen's in front of the ball, but it's such a weak ball on Ann's racket that one could also argue that she should be covering more of her side of the court. But at the same time, you could also maybe make the argument that Ann could have done whatever she wanted with this. And these are I know I sound like a broken record, but these are the points that I love. So I return down the middle, and I think the middle's more open on this second serve. There's my middle. So now I feel like things are good. And you'll see Jen puts that ball away from Ann, is what I would argue. So I return low. I return low. Ball goes back out wide. I go back middle. And now we've got this point in hand. To me, it all starts with that return. But the ball comes back out wide to me again, and I just basically try to put the ball in the exact same spot as much as I can. And then now it's right on Ann's forehand. Takes a few shots, but we really finish it up right there. All right, here we go. Great return. Just a phenomenal return. Right at her feet, I'm closing in, bunk. Forced a mistake. Great movement by Ann. So serve down the middle. And she's just that subtle movement by Ann. Definitely Jen feels it, puts it out wide. Ooh. A little dangerous, but you'll see. Serve down the middle. And Ann holds her ground right in front of the ball. It crosses over. Forced the mistake. It was close, but we'll take it. I like this point. I mean, just good patience. Everybody's kind of doing what they're supposed to be doing, playing high percentage, middle, lob, no angle, sets up Sandy's forehand. I'm stuck in the middle of my backhand, middle again. Jen staying active. She's not just standing still. There she goes. Good ball down the middle. Net gets in the way. Someone had to lose. Sometimes that's the way you look at it. So what I like about this is here's a serve. Sandy gets a good drive off. Not on this one. On this one, good drive. Jen's in the right spot. Causes a mistake. I know you causing mistakes, forcing errors. Hopefully, I know I'm a broken record, but that's what I love to see. Jen's in the right spot. Put your hands up. And this is something I really love. So, Jen's in the right spot. And first of all, this ball's back. Let's see. Where's Sandy's ball? Sandy's ball is right here. So she drives it. And it's low. Now it's bouncing on the service line. Jen's kind of moving forward. You can see that just that one step. Look, right there, one step forward. She, gets her body into it a little bit, back down the middle, and you can see it pushed back and sprays it out wide. Love those kind of plays. I call these pressure points right here. So here's a serve, second serve. We've got Connie in the mix now. It's kind of an old-fashioned chip and charge with the swing. Comes forward. She's coming in. I should be coming in. I'm not coming in at all because I'm being lazy. And now you can see this should be the power position. The lacking feature of the power position is the big goon me. I don't really move in, but it's still that low ball, we're pressing in. It's going to be really hard to lob that guy. Sorry, I missed that one. So Jen serves. Good cover. Even though Jen and Ann loses point, I really like what happened here. So Jen serves, and now, Ann hit it down the middle. Didn't quite get enough good strings on it, but you can see where they are now. They're switch, but Ann keeps going over, and here we are. So they're right back in the point. And I like that. I like that ball down the middle, slow. That's easily a point they could have stayed in. Love that return. Again, I know it gets frustrating, but the more you do these kind of court positions, patterns, these misses will clean themselves up. I promise. So it's a great. Sorry, here we go. It's a great return by Jen. Bam, right, and you can see this is Ann is exactly where she needs to be. Of course, I do think she's not looking to go middle. I do think, based upon where her racket is, it looks like she's like trying to go back across, and she really needs to be. I need to be bleeding out of the head after this volley. Solid plan. So we got the serve. Down the middle. Bam, look at that. Low. That really was set up with Connie's second ball after her serve. She works that middle quite well. So here we go. You can see Jen's coming over to guard the alley too. And you'll see that look at Jen's movement. Just only look at Jen right here. Ball's out wide. Jen's going to cover the alley, and that opens up the middle. And then that gives. And I literally did not move. High volley to John. He works it. Well, let's just put this in the textbook Hall of Fame. So we get a second serve. Right? Exactly. Smack dab. Inside the singles court. Ann's happy. She doesn't worry about too much about her alley. Connie's backing up. Ann cuts over. That is not a Creevy. There was no Creevy on that one. That is just textbook. Let's just watch that again. I love it. 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 Boom, move back, John. Yeah. That's good. So there's a lot going on at this point. So Connie serves, and she's looking for her forehand. And so this is kind of the danger of running around the ball. I mean, I do this all the time, but the problem is you can see is that I may not know. I'm looking forward. I don't know what Connie's doing, and the more she runs around it, the more she is opening up court. I guess I do look actually, and now Jen sees that, and I can't. I love that. Way to find the hole, Jen. So I return down the middle pretty well. Return down the middle. Connie moves in perfectly, right in front of the ball, and she just takes over from here. Now, even though she did not, here's my return. Even though she didn't finish this one, and she didn't really find the hole. She does keep the ball in front of her, so she never really gives up too much of an angle. Basically, you can see where I'm standing. If there was a lob, I would have been there. I would have been there to help, but she stays with the ball. There we go. So aggressive court positions, especially by Connie here, they can pay off. I mean, it's kind of a high risk, high reward thing again. So here's my return. You can see it's on Anne's forehand, and you could argue, yeah, it's actually you can see Anne's making contact by the blue line on her ad side. And if you just look at the blue line on Connie's side, she's way over. She is leaving a lot of real estate open. So she probably should be sliding over. And you can see that I think Anne sees that but isn't able to capitalize. So, it is what it is. So this is one of those points where I think Jen and Ann are playing this very well, and I find a hole, and Connie's able to capitalize on it. So here's my serve. I think it's probably a second serve. It's not much on it, and love the return. Now this is what I really love. You can see that Jen's coming to the service line, Ann's moving forward, and I think, and I don't know. Because the ball's in the alley, Anne really has to respect her alley right there. She has to kind of assume I might go for it. So you can see I go right down the middle. I think Jen is in the perfect spot. If she had come way in, I would have lobbed. So she's there. She still has a pretty good look at that. And unfortunately, she takes it a little bit down the middle, and that happens. But still, even though Jen and Ann didn't win this point, I love their court position. If she could have gotten it away, maybe a little bit more away from the middle, things would have been different. But I like the court position. Here we go. Here's a serve. So let's see what we got here. So here's a serve. Good return. And now again, look at that court position. I love it. Ball's low in front of me. Anne and Jen have assumed the power position. And that's the ball you want. And so Jen goes for it. She's halfway up the service box. That's her ball all day. Doesn't, she had committed. And so that's not, and she just kind of did whatever she could with it. But what I really like what happens next is that the good communication. So let me back up there. Good communication. And now here, this is where it kind of goes sideways for Jen and Ann, is that Ann had all day to do something else besides this. But, those things happen. Love that serve right into the body. So body serve combined with net player looking to do something. It's just, again, some of the subtle stuff, Good serve. Active net player, just taking little steps, doing any motion, might be all you need to disrupt the returner. And so, the serve goes to John. I get it kind of right at her feet, and Connie reads that, moves forward, and the secret there is her moving forward. But so I'm hit the ball. Ball goes in front of her. She moves forward, and that's it. That's just a fantastic doubles play by Connie. Good recognition off my return. I had nothing to do with that point. Good. Again, Connie comes in behind her return. She gets a low ball off. It's too good. So a low return to Jen. Jen really has no option here just to pop it up. And Connie finishes it off. Good stuff. So you got a serve and volley here. Serve down the middle. Keep. So here we go. So now we're going to go angle. Middle. Love it. Great return. Look at that. Even though I don't really take a step out wide, I think there's a sense that I'm kind of in hover mode because I feel like Ann can kind of do whatever she wants. So I'm not really doing much. But you see, I left that middle open because I was thinking Allie, and now that really puts everything on Connie. And even more important, and this is again the subtle stuff. Watch what happens after Ann hits it. She moves forward. Watch what Jen does. Jen moves forward, and this puts pressure on everybody. Good job. Watch John get busted here. I had no business in the world doing this. I should be ashamed of myself. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for myself. And again, that's where you get so we're here again. You can see, look at where Ann is standing, look at where Connie is standing, and that's just, she got away with it once, not this time. Way to blow her up. So a couple things happen here. Connie just keeps coming, keeps coming, keeps coming, keeps coming. No, not much of a split step. So that's the way it goes. But you know what? If you're aggressive, it works. Sometimes it doesn't work, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Would have been nice to see a split step right here. Here we go. So here's my return. Middle-ish. Middle. Middle. Alley. Love that. Singles court middle. Singles court middle. Middle. Alley. Great. Good playing by Connie, but what kind of really one of the things that may have lost the point for Jen and Ann was watch what happens when the ball goes over Jen's head. This is the problem. Connie's moving forward and Jen's got her back completely turned. And then she goes back and she loses track and it's just too late. And so ideally at this moment, Jen would have just backpedaled to the service line. But right here, that's the problem because Connie's on the service line and Jen's looking backwards. And she can't really recover. It's great. It's a great shot by Connie, though. And I would love to see Ann consider taking this. So solid serve. Stepping over would be, stepping over now would have been nice. Look at that. I mean, I feel like in one step she could have just slammed that. Good patience. Just a Just, let's watch that again. I mean, just good patience. And sometimes that's what you need. Just good patience. That's it. I love points like this. Doesn't seem like much is going on, but great serve down the middle. Good movement by Ann. And a great serve and volley. Even though you didn't actually have to hit the volley, the fact that you're coming forward, Jen, the fact that Ann's moving, puts a lot of tension, and the ball's jamming up Connie. Good stuff. And this is just another kind of good, solid, quasi boring doubles point. Serve and volley, come in, keep it low down the middle. Mistake, mistake, mistake. Low ball comes in, middle, and that's, this is kind of a subtle point, but you'll see, and I'm not picking on Jen on this one, but you'll see she moves forward, doesn't work, comes back. Really nowhere to go. She can't move in. Can't really move forward. Can't really move forward. Now she's not really looking to move. I think I'm nitpicking at this point, but low. Would have loved to seen a little more movement, but eh. Nice playing by Connie, and the reason I'm showing this is just I wanted her to see her slice serve. Congratulations for breaking it out. Upward and onward. And good lob. Good ball. Low ball. Way to stick with the plan, Jen. So just kept good communication down the middle, away from the net player. Didn't pay for that one. There it is, right here. Let's back that up. You can see, it's just you're looking. She steps into it, and now Ann is in a position to move forward. And good night. Good. Solid serve. Just you're at that moment you were kind of working on it, so I just wanted you to see. You kind of put that toss a little bit higher. Figured you want to see that. It has a nice kind of a crisper sound to it too. Good ball. Great hands in there. Lob goes up. Just don't panic. Put it down the middle. Force a mistake there. Great serve in the bod and good movement. Watch this. Ball bounces and you'll see. Watch when Jen takes her step. Right at around impact, and it just causes Connie to push it. This is probably my favorite point of the day because I just feel like it's such relaxed court position placement strategy. So it's a, here's my serve, actually a good serve down the tee. Balls on, let me see that return. It's all set up. Look at this return. This is perfect. Putting that ball, in the middle. I'm in the singles court, which means Jen's in front of me, so she's happy. So you guys, Jen and Ann, are controlling the middle. And you can see now that ball, that's an easy volley. No one panics. Back down the middle, back out wide. I could watch that in a loop all day. Middle, alley, middle, alley, angle, alley, angle, same thing. Good, 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 good. Oops, sorry, we got ahead of ourselves. What we got here? That's a good return. Get out of trouble. Good. There's kind of, I like this point because there's a lot going on. I like the return, get out of trouble. I kind of, now everything's pretty much back to reset. Now this is good. So now the ball's in front of Ann. She comes forward. And so here we are. So this is still a good position. And now this is where Jen probably maybe should not have gone forward, just because I don't think she knew what Ann was in a little bit more trouble than Ann was in more trouble than Jen realized, I think. Because now the problem becomes they've got Jen's closer to the net, and then that's what you can see. That's what I see that, and I go over Jen's head. So again, you kind of have to wait at this moment. So now everything's good, and I would say Jen jumps the gun by moving in too early here. And now I see that, and that's where it gets sticky. But it's not over yet. Now if that was a lob, things could have been different. But, and then what I like, even though Connie kind of frames it here, she takes the right shot. She's right where she needs to be, and that's what I love. Lob goes up. She goes to the service line. And again, what I really like about this is what Connie does. Connie just goes to the service line. And what I want you to see is that freeze. Now, she's at the service line. And this is a mistake I make in my own game all the time. From the service line, I think most would assume Ann's going to lob this. I think Ann might even thought she was going to lob this. But she didn't. And look, she can still go get the volley. And that sets up the rest of the point. Good. Good volley down the middle. That's what we were getting to. So here's the serve. Good return. We move in. Volley down the middle. Love it. And then finishes it off. Good lob. Good relob. Wow, that's good stuff, Jen. Good patience. No one's panicking. That's a great lob. Pushes me back. I love the relob. Keeping me deep, keeping me back. Sneaks in. Boom. And this was one of the final points. It was a fun. This is the one where Jen tries to kill Connie and it didn't work. Good communication. Oh well. So that's it. And thank you for watching. See ya.